Hey friends, so I wanted to come and just talk to you a little bit about the power of persuasion. So I signed up for one of those, it wasn't like really a webinar, it was just information series from Darren Hardy, and he is the author of The Compound Effect. If you've never read it, you definitely need to read The Compound Effect. It is a game changer. It is just like a basic personal development book that you need to read, especially as a new coach. So, anyway, big Darren Hardy fan, and I just saw an ad and signed up for these couple of classes that he was presenting. It didn't take very long. I spent yesterday afternoon looking through these videos, but because you need access to get them, it was hard for me to share them with you. So that's why I'm doing this right now, giving you some of the notes from the Power of Persuasion series. So Darren talked about there are three areas that are needed for persuasion when you want to get somebody to do something. And when you're in the mode of sales, then you need to, have other people be persuaded to do what you want them to do, which is buy your products. So I was interested in seeing this, basically how to get people to say yes. And we are really, really familiar with how people say no. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of got this training and I could pass it along to you. So there's three areas in persuasion. First is logic. And logic basically is that thing that you think ahead and say, okay, why would this person that I'm talking to, why would they need this? Why would they want this? What's in it for them? When you look at the logical side of it, you want to see how is this going to benefit that other person. So you're helping people come to their own logical solution by how you speak to them. So logical questions are, and I've started to make posts surrounding these questions. So do you have a goal to X, Y, Z? Do you have a goal to lose weight? Do you have a goal to have more energy? Do you have a goal to make more money for your family? Fill in the blank of what would be appropriate for the person that you're talking to in regards to joining a challenge group or the coach opportunity. Do you feel overwhelmed already? Others have secrets to achieving this goal. So if they allowed you to step in on their secrets, what would you think of that? Would you be interested in that? So and then the last thing was, for less than the cost of blank, you can achieve this goal. So I've used this and especially with less than the cost of a gym membership, you can have, the keys, tools that you need to reaching your goals. So give it to somebody that is something that they're familiar with already, the cost of a gym membership in their area. I guarantee what we're doing is cheaper than that as far as the on-demand for 12 months and also the month supply of Shakeology altogether for the 160. So it's really a great deal. And so when you talk about it as in, what are your goals? Are you overwhelmed already? Do you need a different solution? What if people who have done this and gone before and achieved those goals shared their secrets of what's working for them? Would you be interested? And, if you could get this for less than the cost of that, would you be interested in trying to achieve your goal in this way? So that was all about logic. You want to help people come to their own conclusions based on what you're telling them. The second one is emotion or pathos. So emotional discontent can motivate, or positive emotions can motivate. So you can go either way. You can spin it from a positive perspective or a negative perspective in sharing emotion. We are 100% emotional when we make decisions. Most people would think, so how much is your emotion playing into decision making when you go to a restaurant or when you make a big purchase or buy a house, or how much of it is emotional when you make these decisions, whether they're big or small? Well, according to Darren Hardy, 100% of them are emotional. And that's the thing that we fail to pick up on so often, is we're downplaying that role of emotion when we're talking to people and trying to use persuasion. So it's all about emotion when you're making decisions. So how do we play on this to help other people reach those decisions? Well, you can go positively or negatively. I would suggest that you go positively. So build up positive emotions. Because when you build up the positive emotions, you're going to receive positive emotions back from that person. So there's a couple ways of being emotional and sharing vulnerability. There's lots and lots of resources about how to be vulnerable in sharing your story and how that can benefit the people that you're speaking to. People relate to that. I notice with my own posts that I can send out invites, I can form people, I can do cold invites, which don't work very well. But I mean, you can do all kinds of inviting process, but then they go back and they check out your wall. And the times where I have had, hit Success Club in the last hour or sold challenge packs rather quickly, is when they connect with something I have posted on my wall that resonated with them emotionally. So it all goes back to how you make them feel. When you're sharing those vulnerabilities, can they relate to that? So I've had a lot of people that are like, I saw myself in what you posted there about your emotion, about what you were going through, about how you felt about that. That's me. They can relate to that. I had someone purchase a challenge pack recently, never even talked to me about the cost because she needed the solution. She saw that I had the solution from what I had posted and related to the Made to Crave series. And I had already bought the book and was ready to rock and roll, just had no idea how. And I posted about that. She resonated with it, didn't even ask the cost. Emotion is the key. Emotion. So you can do that by telling a story. Create the vulnerability by telling your story. Center that around your emotions. It doesn't have to be like how you came to Beachbody and all of that kind of stuff, but tell a story about yourself, about someone else in your challenge group, or just completely not Beachbody, but has that lesson to be learned through it. So that also goes back to the second thing, which is using metaphors. So you can create these stories of using a metaphor that will be interesting and memorable, and that will make people remember what you had to say. So I think back about just Jesus using parables. He used stories all the time, and that's how people remembered the lesson. So use a story, use an analogy, use some metaphors when you're doing your posts and when you're talking to people. But so share your story, be vulnerable, appeal to emotion. That's when people make decisions. It's based on emotion. So you need to connect into that. You need to connect into your own emotion and share that with other people. And then that's what they're going to see. Now, the third part is ethos. And ethos is your ethics. It's your character. So people support, okay. There's one last thing here I wanted to share with you, but I'm going to go into ethos next. So ethos is ethics. That's your character. And this is when you live out what you say. So in your Facebook posts, but also when you go to the grocery store, if somebody's seeing you in the grocery store, are they seeing you live out what you're saying? Are they seeing you be consistent in your workouts or your meal plan or whatever? Are they seeing consistency in that? Consistency is king. I can't say this enough. Consistency is king. It's the way you reach your physical goals with your health and fitness. It's the way you reach your business goals. It's the way you reach your spiritual goals. It's consistency is king. So be a product of the product. Darren Hardy said those exact words. Be a product of the product. Where have we heard that before? Well, it's one of the vital behaviors. Why is that? It creates ethos. It is building your character. You're becoming convinced of what you're doing. So when I was a brand new coach, I had never done Shakeology before. I had never done Beachbody programs before, ever. So I had to be a product of the product, not only to convince other people that this was something that was good for me, but to convince myself. I'd never done it before, so I had to start doing it. And guess what? The longer I did it, the more I believed in it, and the easier it was for me to share, and other people were starting to believe in it because I was consistent in it. So product of the product, incredibly important in building your character. So be authentic, be who you are. Don't be somebody else. You know, I stopped following top coaches. I actually stopped following people that I admire because I found myself getting down on myself, saying, oh, I'm not doing that right, or I'm not doing that as good as her, or my pictures aren't as pretty as hers, or wow, that was a good post, I couldn't do that. Or I found myself copying, which is even worse. So be authentic. If that means putting the blinders on and unfollowing top coaches or unfollowing people that you admire and just being you, that's what you need to do. Be authentic, be you, because that is what is going to help build that ethos, build that character. So present your why, engage with co-creating the process, and live it. So let's talk about this co-creating the process. So people support what they help create. So you need to involve your prospects in the decision making. You need to give them control and some choice in the matter, and that's how you can persuade them. They need to get involved. They need to feel like they are making this decision themselves, that they are in the process with you. So instead of explaining tons of different options and just being like, hey, go to my website and look at all the different programs out there and pick one that you like. Well, people get overwhelmed. They don't want to do it. They put it on the back burner. They're unsure of what they're doing. They have no guidance. They don't really want to look through that crazy website, which is going to change, by the way. So they just don't react. They don't make a decision. Or you can go the opposite way and say, this is what you need to do, point blank, period, no decision made. This is it. This is what you need to do. All Access Challenge Pack, 160, that's for you. Or you can involve them in the decision-making process and give them no more than 3 options, okay? 3, that is the max that people can work with and actually wrap their brain around and give them enough choices, but not too many choices. So give them 3 options or less, 3 options or less. Use their stated desires and put it in proper contrast. So whatever they said they needed, make sure you're involving that in those 3 options. So say I'm talking to Jane and she wants something with Pilates, yoga, low impact. She's not sure where to start. She needs some affirmation and learning more about self-esteem and self-worth. PIO would be a great option for her. So I say talk to her about PIO. I give her the video. Does this look like it's interesting to you? I may talk to her about some other options with the yoga retreat or the yoga studio if she's really a yogi. But you know, give those different options of programming. So what you do is you show the least best option first. Okay, these 3 points really stuck out to me. So maybe you want to grab a pen and paper and, you know, jot down this note. Your first step is to show the least best option first. So to me, say she selects PIO, this is what she wants to do. The least best option is just to buy the DVDs by themselves. $60 in and out. You get the DVDs. That's it. That's it. Number 2 is you show the best option next. This is the most attractive option. So in this scenario, it would be the All Access Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack, because then not only is she getting PIO, but she's getting all of those other programs that we discussed previously, plus a nutrition plan, plus the Shakeology, plus the shaker cup, plus the portion control containers, which don't come with the PIO DVD pack, by the way. She's getting all of those things together, plus the accountability group, the one-on-one coaching, and the tracker app. So she's getting all of those things for $160. So yes, it is a little bit more money, but she's getting the most bang for her buck, nutritional support, the accountability that she needs. Again, going back to what she said her stated desire was. If she has a hard time staying on track and needs to have the accountability of other people, then this is the best option for her. And then third, maybe this doesn't sound like something that you would expect, but the third is to pick a middle option. Now, middle of the road, she could get the Beachbody On Demand workouts only, the all access only, which is $99. So this is middle of the road. It's giving her a little bit more than just PIO on DVD, but it's not getting her the accountability from the group. It's not giving her the challenge tracker app. It's not giving her Shakeology, the nutrition part, the portion containers. None of that is included. So that's a middle of the road option. It's better than just getting them on DVD. It's not as good as doing the all access challenge pack. It's in the middle. So what does this do? When you give her the middle of the road option, it confirms in her mind that that challenge pack is the best option because she's going to get a month of meals plus all the other stuff for the $160. And, so this was really kind of eye-opening for me. He used the example of real estate. Whenever he was in real estate and showing homes to people, he was looking, at the criteria they said they wanted, showing them the least best option first. And so you're kind of like, it's not quite what we're looking for. And then you show them the best option where they fall in love, even if it's a little bit more money. Even if it's just outside the range, when you find something that is like spot on, beautiful home, this is what you were looking for. And then he's like, okay, I got one more for you. And now it's a middle of the road home. It's okay. It's better than the first one. But man, that second one, I really want to do that second one. I know it's a little more, I know it's an investment, but man, I love those fixtures, or we wouldn't have to put near as much work into this or any work. It's ready to move in. It's in the best school districts. Okay, you get what I'm saying, right? So when you do least best option first, and then the best option next, and then your third option is middle of the road, it confirms what you already thought in your mind that that second option was best. Try it out when you talk to your next potential customer and see what happens. This is the power of persuasion. You need to appeal to their emotion. Our decisions are based on emotion. You need to be that product of the product. You need to make sure that you are creating character for yourself. People buy based on that. They want to know that you can be trusted. They want to see consistency across the board in your life. And going back to the very first one we said, logic. Going on and just saying, listen, do you have a goal to blank? If you had the solution, would you try it? And if if this is far less costly than this, you can achieve this goal, what do you think? Give them the logic, help them see that decision from being involved in the process and getting them to think of it from a logical standpoint. So logic, emotion, and ethics. Those are the three key traits to the power of persuasion, presented by Darren Hardy. I hope this has been helpful for you because it was really, really eye-opening and helpful for me. And keeping these things in mind in your next conversations. Make it about them. Make sure it's about their goals. It's not about points. It's not about commission. It's not about anything other than helping people reach their goals. And sometimes it makes all the difference in the world how we present that, so that they can grab hold and make that decision for themselves. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.